It was like a playground area, and you go downstairs and everything is pizza. The movie The Sound of Freedom came out July 4th of 2023, and it only had a budget of $14.5 million, and it ended up grossing $250 million. This film is wildly successful, and that's pretty crazy considering that platforms like Hulu, Disney, Amazon decided not to publish this movie because apparently it's controversial to expose the child trafficking that is going on. And people say that this movie is controversial because they are sensationalizing the child trafficking and that it's inaccurate, yet most movies produced by Hollywood are extremely inaccurate. They show the woman Hulk beating up other male characters, which is incredibly inaccurate because we all know that men are so much more physically stronger than women. And so why is it okay to depict some things that are inaccurate in mainstream media? However, when true, real things are happening, it's considered inaccurate, sensationalized, and we shouldn't spread misinformation when this is actually something serious that people should be concerned about. And this is a message that needs to get across to more people. But because very rich people have their hands all up in the industry, they are choosing what is being shown, and apparently somehow Oprah Winfrey wraps into this some way, some form, somehow. And I find this very strange because Oprah Winfrey, although I've never looked very deeply into her story, I have pondered about her success, and I have been very impressed by the empire that she's built, a very incredible talk show, and I've never really watched it. I'm not really in her age demographic of her show. However, when I saw a woman who became so wildly successful in business, that was somebody that I looked up to. I know she has a net worth of over $2 billion, and of course we cannot look at somebody's finances and consider them successful. However, I did take that as a large consideration when I was looking at Oprah Winfrey as somebody to look up to, and now potentially we are seeing that she has been involved with the wrong people and doing the wrong things, and that's what happens when you involve yourself with the wrong people, because the people you're around are the people that you become. And so perhaps Oprah Winfrey is somehow not as amazing as many people might think. And so we're gonna watch this video because honestly, I'm a little bit confused here too. So let's just find out with me. And if you're new to my channel, please make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any new videos. And also make sure you hit the bell icon so you'll get notified every time I post a new video. And if you guys are really wanting to be involved in my community, go to ANGELAROSE.BIZ/challenge. There I will be sending you guys notifications and some information. So definitely check that out, and let's go ahead and begin.
The world has been nothing but crazy nowadays, but what's currently happening in Hollywood is next level crazy. Mel Gibson is exposing the industry through the film Sound of Freedom, and boy, oh boy, he didn't hold back.
Number one fear is public humiliation, okay?
From uncovering what the elites are doing to their involvement in nasty businesses, Mel is ready to tell it all.
You know, I had a whole bunch of weird paranoid suspicions about what the hell was going on because there was a lot of stuff I couldn't understand. Right.
But wait, there's more, because aside from this, another famous name was caught in the middle of this scandal, and you'll be shocked once you find out who this person is. So what exactly did Mel say? Let's find out. While Hollywood is notably one of the most controversial industries ever, surprises sometimes come and go. This time, the surprise was in the form of a movie, and little did we know, this movie would soon open our eyes to the truth and what exactly is happening behind the camera. The movie I'm referring to is called Sound of Freedom, directed and co-written by Alejandro Monteverde, starring Jim Caviezel, Mira Sorvino, and Bill Camp. And just like the title suggests, it has a very strong message. Its message is to increase awareness about the concerning issue of child trade and how children are still in great peril and being dragged around by unsavory adults.
What's crazy is all of us used to think, oh, this is just a conspiracy. And it's true. Many of the conspiracies that we thought we had are reality. So don't consider yourself a conspiracy theorist anymore. Just consider yourself a realist.
Most of you are thinking this film will be promoted around the world because of the important message it's trying to convey. Well, guess what? It's the total opposite, and the lack of media attention is sickening and at the same time concerning. However, there's a very obvious reason why the elites are making sure this movie is dragged under the rug. It's mainly because they don't want people to know the fishy stuff they're doing. And since this movie is precisely going over the dark truth in the industry, influential people are pulling the strings to stop it from reaching a wider audience.
That just made me think about how many kids are in movies and the things that they make them do, the sexualization of kids, and how Netflix said yes to having a show like Cuties and said no to The Sound of Freedom, which was a huge miss for them, by the way, because this is a wildly successful film.
It turns out the plot is spot on, and the elites are upset. The movie is based on the true story of Tim Ballard, a former special agent for the Department of Homeland Security who has dedicated his life to combating serious cases involving taking advantage of children, and who took his cause private by founding Operation Underground Railroad with support from Glenn Beck. On top of this, the movie occasionally overflows with a Christian undercurrent, like when Ballard says, because God's children are not for sale, when explaining why he's so passionate about getting rid of the crime involving children. So you can say that the movie is somehow an advocacy effort, as well as to help shed light on this issue and hopefully eradicate these social problems. However, despite the importance and significance of the topic, major streaming sites like Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon decided to skip it and didn't open their platforms for the movie. It was surprising, to say the least, because these platforms have always been very supportive of these causes. So why did they refuse The Sound of Freedom? To make things more suspicious, big names in the industry who have always been vocal about causes like this have been eerily silent about the movie and the issues surrounding it. And as a result, it seems like Hollywood has collectively decided to turn a blind eye to very important social issues that's going on in its industry. But wait, there is more, because the controversy does not end there. We're only at the tip of the iceberg, because more dirt about these alleged industry elites is coming out of the bag.
I just feel so sad. I feel like I have like a knot in my throat.
For those who don't know, Sound of Freedom was initially under Disney, but House of Mouse suddenly scrapped the project, and people were confused as to why. Rumor has it that there's actually so much more behind the sudden rejection and the fact that the movie's not getting any promotion, despite how star-studded the cast is. One of the alleged reasons is that these platforms deliberately turn a blind eye in order to prevent the issue relating to child trade from reaching a global audience, and to protect the elites who are pulling the strings. Mel Gibson actually hinted about these industry elites way back in 1998. Fans started to connect the dots.
I wanted to leave. And because I knew that I didn't want to work with him.
Yeah.
And he was getting scary.
Yeah.
On top of that, there are two kinds of elites. One of them is called the Good Club. According to The Guardian, this exclusive group is made up of billionaire philanthropists who regularly hold meetings to discuss matters they deem important. Some of the people included in this Good Club are Bill Gates, George Soros, Ted Turner, and Oprah Winfrey. Speaking of Oprah, she's known as an icon, billionaire, and philanthropist, but it seems like there's a side to Oprah that she'd rather keep behind closed doors, and you'll be—
Pause here for just a second, because a lot of times when we hear about these billionaires getting together, we instantly think that they're conspiring about something evil and horrible. And first of all, money doesn't change who people are. So it's not like these people became rich and then suddenly they became evil. It just exposes who people are. And so we can be equally as destructive as some rich people. It's just they have more to be destructive with if we're destructive people. However, we can also be incredibly kind with money, and then when we get more money, we can have more to be incredibly kind with. And so I don't want us to go along with this narrative that all rich people are bad, because what happens is many times we look at wealthy people and out of jealousy and anger towards them, and we covet the things that they have, we begin to make things up about them, or society and the media comes and nitpicks things from their past to try to get news stories about them. And so I'm very careful about these things when people try to expose somebody. There has to be evidence. And perhaps there is evidence of Oprah being involved in this. And let me know what you personally think about Oprah. I know many of you might not be the biggest fans of her at all. And so I'm excited to hear what you have to say. It's just I'm very careful about who to blame or who to be angry at, because a lot of times we just kind of like make up things about people, or that's what the media does. And so a lot of times when there is an issue, somebody might not be directly related to it, but you can definitely see how they have something to do with it. And if there are these billionaires who get together and they talk about their plans and they help each other, there might be one person from that group who decided to make a stupid decision, and then the whole group goes down and gets a bad name for it. And because they're such wealthy people and so influential, then the whole world tries to take down those very select few people when they might have just been around the wrong person at the wrong time. And so I'm not really sure exactly what role Oprah plays into this, and I hope that we're going to get a little bit more concrete information.
In shock as to what Mel Gibson has revealed about her and the other elites in Hollywood, and how far they'll go to trap these innocent kids. While Mel and
the truth is I just don't want to believe it. It's hard because I don't want to believe that somebody like Oprah or these other billionaire celebrities that we look up to could do something so horrible. It's like I'm kind of in denial.
The movie never really name Oprah. The host's connection with Harvey Weinstein is undeniable. Harvey never had the best reputation when it comes to his work ethic and how he treated young kids. However, despite all of this, Oprah remained very good friends with him, which is one of the many red flags about her. On top of this, reports even suggested that Oprah would encourage, if not enforce, other actors to work with Harvey, which started the accusations that she was part of Harvey's illicit behavior when it came to his co-workers. If you think about it, these allegations are completely in contrast with Oprah's image as a supporter of women's empowerment and other social issues. Some even mentioned how her friendship with Harvey is an obvious double standard and a big flaw in her beliefs and principles. But this is not the end yet, because after being close with a person who's dubbed as a predator, Oprah also invited another notorious person to her program. Yes, you heard that right. Oprah invited John of God on her show, and viewers were shocked and disgusted all at the same time. If this is the first time you've heard his name, John is Oprah's faith healer, and he was charged with multiple charges involving harassment and, as a result, sentenced to 99 years in prison. Can you imagine?
Wait, he was sentenced to 99 years and then she invited him on her show? Or she invited him before?
A person like Oprah, who advocates against these offenses, actually having a faith healer who was in prison for the very same charges.
I'm sorry, but what the heck is a faith healer? I have never heard of that term. It just sounds so foreign and weird. And just seeing Oprah with this weird makeup and hair right now, I'm kind of like, what is going on?
Coincidence? Well, there is a high chance it's not. Fans were also baffled because of this, and they can't seem to understand how this happened. One fan wrote, "Finally, slowly, we're seeing justice against the elite heroes," while another said, "Beware of most folks that Oprah promotes." It's also mind-boggling how Oprah literally opened the doors for a person like John of God to have access to his victims, since she was the one who catapulted him into the limelight by featuring him in her show. Through this action, Oprah actually gave John of God an audience and credibility when he was actually the total opposite. Oprah did try to salvage her reputation by showing support and empathy to the women who became victims of John of God. But sadly, the damage was already done, and it's almost impossible to believe her words when she was the first one to endorse a predator in the guise of a faith healer. And to add to this, Oprah is set to make more terrible decisions that will become the talk of the town. One of them was when she set up a leadership academy in South Africa. And since then, this academy has been bombarded with controversy, one after the other. In fact, the South African government was the first to express its displeasure about the project and criticize the exorbitant price the school is requiring these students to pay. However, even the South African authorities were not able to stop Oprah. Instead, she pushed through with the project and even flaunted the high-end facilities, salons, and even over-the-top gyms, as if she hadn't put up the academy in a country that's challenged by poverty. As a result, rumors about the true reason why she built the school in the first place started spreading like wildfire. At most, people alleged that the school was nothing but a front for something fishy and shady. While there's no concrete evidence that will prove this, one shocking incident involving a person who worked in the academy might be the biggest proof everyone's waiting for. This is an incident involving a woman named Virginia who worked for Oprah in the dormitories of the academy. It was revealed that this employee engaged in highly illicit conduct with multiple students in the academy, which triggered raised eyebrows and criticism. And if this is true, Oprah literally put these young, defenseless girls under the supervision of someone who would take advantage of them. Despite how hard...
So basically what I'm understanding is that Mel Gibson has exposed Oprah for putting an orphanage, I guess, or something like that, that its true purpose is not to be kind and to show these kids love and to make them learn and help them. And she's actually doing that as a front for child trafficking, I guess. I mean, that is a really, really insane allegation to put on somebody.
The host tried to clear her name. Another incident in the academy is set to damage her reputation even more. It was reported that incidents of violence and intimidation among the students happen on a daily basis. Because of this, fans believe that the problem is deeply engraved in the academy's foundation. And just like what Oprah is doing, people on the top of the ladder are trying their hardest to stop the truth from coming out. They do this by making sure movies like Sound of Freedom never get the attention they deserve.
So at first I thought Oprah had something to do with the child trafficking from places like South America, and I guess it was from somewhere else, and it just shows that this is a worldwide issue that we're dealing with, and it's incredibly sad. And because it is such a gigantic issue, it is our job to really focus in on the family and really make sure that our own families are safe. The saddest thing is that when parents aren't even aware of things like this happening is when people can fall victims because they don't know what to look out for. They take their children to these auditions and then they leave them there expecting for it to be an actual audition, because why would you expect anything different? You know, we went to this place called Meow Wolf. It's a selfie museum. And when we entered, we thought it was so cool because they had all these trees and we were really enjoying all the different rooms. And then we entered into this one room that was like a laundry room, and we opened up the laundry room door. I guess apparently you used to be able to do that. And when we walked in, there was satanic paintings all over. I immediately shut the door and I couldn't believe that I had found myself in a place like that. We continued in throughout the museum, and my mom at this point was saying, I want to leave. Forget the $40 that we just spent on every single person to come here. I want to leave. I feel uncomfortable here. And then we entered into a place that was like a kids area, and it was meant for kids. It was like a playground area, and you go downstairs and everything is pizza. And that's when I connected that this is a kids play area colored with pizza. It has pizza toys, pizza paintings on the wall, pizza like caricatures, and that is Pizzagate, which pizza used to be some type of term that would be a keyword that would mean something else. So apparently in these emails that people would send to each other or to make the child trafficking happen, they would use these little terms like pizza. And so when we were at this place, after just seeing all of that demonic stuff and then seeing all of this Pizzagate stuff for kids, I was like, this is crazy, and it's so rude that they put it right in our faces. I mean, potentially Oprah doing the same thing, like, look at this organization I'm doing, look at these nice things, look at like the funny pizza things we do, all these like funny conspiracy things, let us put it in your face. And then for us to be like, oh, ha ha ha, it's just a joke, ha ha ha, pizza. But these things are actually happening. Child trafficking is real. And I've seen that this scares women and families so much that they feel pushed to stay in their houses. They're afraid of going to the stores. They're afraid of trusting people, trusting the school systems, trusting daycares. It's like, how are we actually going to know who to trust? Who is being honest? And honestly, I guess it just starts with ourselves, being the best person that we can be, because at the end of the day, that's really all we have control over. And guys, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. If you guys want to learn about posting on YouTube and putting a voice out there, because I know you have a voice, I know you have things that you're passionate about, that you want to share, you want to help people, and YouTube is an amazing place to do that. You can also promote your own businesses, your own products, your services on YouTube. And so I really encourage every person who has a business or is an aspiring entrepreneur to be on YouTube, because it's the best place to share your opinion, share your thoughts, share your stories, and connect with new viewers like I'm able to do every single day. I have a lot of experience on YouTube, and I'm so excited to help you grow on YouTube. So join the very free challenge by going to ANGELAROSE.BIZ/challenge. When you join this challenge, I'll be able to send you different assignments and different tasks that include things that I've learned about public speaking, storytelling, and marketing on this amazing platform, YouTube. I think it's funny because I am a little bit overly obsessed with YouTube. I love this platform. I love the opportunities. I think it's amazing that we can talk about things like this, and it doesn't have to be through a mainstream media route. We don't need to do a whole movie production to be able to get our voice out there and talk about these important topics. We can just do it by opening up our laptops and turning on the cameras, turning on some lights, and then sharing what we think, finding topics that resonate with people and are important, and then speaking about these things, because a lot of times we like to sit around and wait for somebody else to do it, wait for the world, wait for the police to solve child trafficking, when there's things that we can be doing right now. We can be spreading awareness. We can be giving people legitimate advice that is going to help protect their families. And I just think that there's so much more that we should be doing about many important issues in today's world. So thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to go to ANGELAROSE.BIZ/challenge. Again, that's ANGELAROSE.BIZ/challenge. I'll see you guys next time. Stay safe. Bye.